What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Loose Change. It's your boy, The Show Off, and I'm back. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like the video, and hit that notification bell so you can be amongst one of the first to see my new content. So, ladies and gentlemen, about a week and a half ago, I did a video about an Instagram model who took zero responsibility for losing a five-figure, I guess, brand ambassador deal or whatever the case may be. All right? That's really, the mindset is important to talk about. However, what she lost is not that important, and they start talking about this oppression shit, whatever. And she even went as far as to liken it to Martin Luther King by using "I have a dream." However, today's video is about a black therapist with the same mindset who lost her job based off of the same thing. All right? Sometimes when you lose sight of reality, and have no accountability, and you are unable to look at yourself, you start to do things like this.
A couple days ago, Psychology Today released this article about the rise of lonely single men.
Please, with all your spirit gusto, go click back on that video. I've been telling y'all motherfuckers that y'all are going to be single for the rest of your fucking life if you do not increase your emotional communication skills, emotional intelligence, or any of these things. The Psychology Today article that my good sis is referencing is nothing but proof that these podcast alpha male bullshit ass father issue having ass motherfuckers is forcing y'all to a lifetime of singleness. I keep seeing on this bullshit ass app that women have these poor attitudes and all this other bullshit, when men truly just need to extend their emotional vocabulary so they can flourish and have meaningful, healthy relationships. But instead, y'all listening to these Kevin Samuel ass motherfuckers, and it's leaving you 50 and alone. Fix it.
And then you have this.
Say you need to expand your emotional vocabulary. It's so your life can be easier. Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch? I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Bitches is not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with schmeat, and bitches can make their own self come, and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men. Black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy, expanding your emotional vocabulary, your life just off top is going to be more difficult. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you expand your awareness of yourself. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you understand how you can navigate in this bitch. This fucking weird ass world that is so hard on y'all. Like, let's acknowledge that the world is very difficult for y'all, but y'all are not making it any easier, bruh. You're not. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us, it's for y'all sad motherfuckers. Go to therapy, talk about that shit that's on your chest. You don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all are doing a disservice to yourself. And so let me sum this shit up. Y'all told bitches to elevate our standards. And at the cost of us elevating y'all standards, y'all got axed because y'all didn't elevate either. Bitches are not tolerating emotional abuse, emotional neglect. Step it up. Go talk to somebody. Go expand your emotional vocabulary so your life can be better, bitch. All right. Go in peace.
Which would lead to this.
Firstly, I want to say thank you guys so much for the overwhelming support in all of this. But I want to just hit a couple points really quick to just help you guys understand better what's going on. So long story short, I posted some stuff on Monday was literally fired on Friday, telling people to go to therapy. And a lot of people got upset and attempted to hurt me, but I want you guys to understand that you didn't just hurt me. Yeah, I may have lost my employment, but all of the clients that I've had, that I've spent 5 years with, establishing therapeutic rapport, now no longer have a therapist. The people that I was serving have very severe mental disorders, severe abandonment issues. Some of them don't even have parents. Some of them have just recently come down, and I was helping them process cancer diagnoses. So while you guys did this shit for clicks and views, my clients lost a support system. I've worked with these people for years, and now they don't have anyone. I don't know what I would do if my therapist was just axed immediately with no warning. So a lot of you guys who have reported me to my employer, whatever, have done irreparable damage, and I need you to sit with that. The doxing has not stopped. I had to change my phone number because someone, under the guise of wanting to protect me, tried to ambush me in a YouTube live, and it's terrifying. As a woman, getting random text messages, that shit's fucking terrifying. So not only do my boundaries continuously keep being violated, my clients, their treatment has stopped. This comment says, how can we support?
Ladies and gentlemen, are we even understanding why black women are so insistent on black men getting therapy? It's simply because we think differently. And if we thought the same, we would be the same. Simple as that. There is an insistence in the black neighborhood, in the black community, for black men to be mentally feminized and to think and understand you while you're not even trying to understand us. So you'd rather get us to thinking like you. Therefore, you don't have to do the work to understand us. That's all it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present this to you. Nobody got you fired. You got you fired. Nobody told you to make these videos. Nobody forced you to make these videos. Nobody even encouraged you to make these videos before you did it. You succumbed to the need for attention and the dopamine shot that you get from the attention and acknowledgement of your peers. Which is ironic because you're a whole therapist. Do y'all know how many psychology classes that a therapist, psychiatrist, or psychologist has to go through? I have no fucking idea, but I do know I took a psychology class when I was in college. And I know one of the first things we talked about was dopamine and how it affects and how it comes down and how it makes you feel when you feel positively acknowledged. You have a therapist who is trained, who succumbed to the need of acknowledgement, which actually is the real reason for her losing her job. Alright? Now, that being said, the second people that you can hold responsible, the second group of people that you can hold responsible, is the people who actually helped you to go viral, those who shared your video, because in case you didn't know it, and I'm getting to a point, y'all, I'm working to a point. In case you didn't realize it, when you go viral, that means your video becomes accessible to more people. And then once it becomes accessible and you're considered viral, what happens is your video is more suggested to be watched by everybody else, all right? Which means, ladies and gentlemen, now all of a sudden your video is so accessible that people around you may see your video, all right? Now, once that happens, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm telling y'all, I'm working to a point right now, so pay attention, stay with me, all right? Once that happens, now the people who are around you, including maybe people in your firm, come across your video because they're on TikTok just like you. They're watching. They see you pop up. They see you calling men bitches. See you calling men dusties. They see you telling men that they're stupid, that this, that, and the third, and then they see you and they work in the same firm as you, and they could say, I never liked her anyway. She's an asshole. She's always an asshole. She says shit to me in the break room. She does this. She walks around with her nose held in the air, turned up in the air. They could say any of that shit and say, okay, well, I can justify in my mind going to report this woman. Or, even worse, maybe one of your clients caught one of your videos and they decided, because ladies and gentlemen, nobody got on here, saw this woman's name on her TikTok, cross-referenced that to try to find out what her real name was, tried to find out what city she lived in, then found out where she worked, and who the fuck did all of that, y'all? Let's keep it honest. You want to blame it on it, and here I'll go even one step further. It wasn't even a man who reported you. That's how real it is. That is how real it is. It was a woman. I would bet dollars to donuts that it was a woman who may be a client of yours or someone who works with you that reported your video to, as you so eloquently put it, and that is basically sarcasm because she didn't say it. There was nothing eloquent about it. With anything that she said. That Massa. They reported you to Massa. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I present this to you. When do you start looking at the situation and looking at the equation and saying, who am I in this equation? When do you start to look at this situation and say, I fucked up? I fucked up. Because now you're saying that the very men that you've called bitches and dusties, they should protect you. And they didn't protect you. Protect you from who? You? And finally, there is this thing called Code of Ethics. That means you should know certain things, ladies and gentlemen. I talked about this in the last video about the Instagram model. There is this thing called Code of Ethics. And I expect you to know more because you are a professional woman. And there's certain things, like, ladies and gentlemen, who are you in the situation, all right? When you sit back and you say, men sexualize me and this, that, and the third. Ladies and gentlemen, between every take that she had, she was twerking and shaking her ass. She's not wearing a bra or whatever the case may be. And somehow I am sexualizing you. In essence, I just made a point that I think is very valid, even though the shit wasn't valid at all. I just made a point that's very valid. Look at me. I'm going to shake my ass, and I'm going to shake my titties, and I'm going to... Now, if you took time to go through this woman's content, you would see that she is clearly condoning a lot of destructive behavior, condoning being a hoe. Talking about the fact that she ghosts men on a regular basis, and yet you're telling men that they're emotionally unavailable and they're emotionally unintelligent. What about you? You deal with people with mental health and you ghost people, or whatever the case may be. And my last point is this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't y'all realize that you're sometimes as a therapist, psychologist, or psychiatrist, don't you realize that you're the last line of defense between someone possibly going over the edge and doing some ridiculous, crazy shit, like going out and shooting up a place, or going out and killing their wife, or killing their family, or whatever the case may be? This is how serious mental health is. So when you have, and you're sitting back and you're saying, you're condoning this woman and the shit that she was saying, and saying, this is how people need to be talked to. Oh, really? And then, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe you, like, you can't condone a professional going out and wanting to treat an individual, a professional who deals with and is entrusted with someone's mental health and emotional value, and say, okay, yeah, you right to act like this. Because this could lead to so many tragedies out here by this woman and people who think like her and people who act like her. Because they decided that they needed help and they bumped into this woman who clearly hates them because they're a black man. Show